This is the podcast to improve your English listening skills while learning something new in English. Every episode, we bring you interesting topics in simple and clear English, so you can listen, learn, and grow. So, sit back, relax, and let's get started.
All right, so today we're going deep on a fascinating legend.
Absolutely.
From Indonesia.
Yeah.
We're heading over to East Kalimantan to explore the story that they call Legenda Pesut Mahakam.
Yeah, this one's really interesting.
So for our listeners who might not be familiar with this specific legend,
Right.
can you give us just a little bit of background on what this story is all about?
Sure. So this is basically the origin story of a very special kind of dolphin that's found only in the Mahakam River.
Interesting.
That's in East Kalimantan.
Okay.
It's called the Pesut Mahakam, or the Irrawaddy dolphin.
Got it.
And what makes this legend so important is that these dolphins are actually endangered right now.
Wow.
So we're not just diving into a cool story, we're also looking at a creature.
Right.
And a culture that are facing some real challenges today.
That's a really good point. I mean, it adds a whole other layer to the story, doesn't it?
It does.
So where do we even begin with this legend? Like, what's the setting and who are the main players?
Okay, so picture the Mahakam River, right? This is like the heart of the story.
Okay.
And we're introduced to this elderly widow. She's poor. And she lives with her son, Bidwanda.
Okay.
Their life is pretty simple. They rely on fishing to get by.
Yeah, very much connected to the river then.
Exactly. Their lives are totally intertwined with the river. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be important later on.
I bet.
But at first, it's all about this like quiet, humble existence.
Right.
Which makes what happens to Bidwanda even more striking.
Oh, so there's a twist coming.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay, I'm all ears. What happens?
So Bidwanda, he ends up leaving home.
Okay.
And when he comes back, he's like a completely different person.
Different how?
Well, he's gone out and made a fortune. He's got all this wealth, followers, the whole 9 yards.
Wow, so he's really climbed the ladder.
You could say that, but the problem is he's become incredibly arrogant.
Uh-oh.
And here's the real kicker.
Yeah.
He's actually ashamed of his own mother. Yeah, because she's still dressed in her simple, poor clothes.
I see.
He doesn't want his fancy new friends to see her.
Wow. That's harsh.
It is, and this is where the central conflict of the legend comes in.
Okay.
This whole idea of Bidwanda rejecting his mother.
In front of everyone.
Yeah, publicly in front of everyone. His followers, the villagers.
Ouch.
It's a huge deal because in their culture, respect for your parents, especially your mother,
right,
is like the most important thing.
Of course.
So Bidwanda, he's basically committing a major taboo.
So how does his mother react to all of this?
Well, the story says that she was absolutely devastated, just heartbroken.
I can only imagine.
She weeps, she cries out to the heavens, and in her grief, she prays for Bidwanda to be taught a lesson.
A lesson about respect, I'm guessing?
Yeah, exactly. And let me tell you, the legend definitely delivers on that prayer.
Okay, I'm ready for the drama.
All right, so picture this. Suddenly the sky goes dark, thunder and lightning erupt.
Wow.
And a mysterious voice booms out from the heavens, cursing Bidwanda for his actions.
Whoa, okay, so we're talking full-on supernatural intervention here.
Right. It emphasizes just how serious Bidwanda's actions were considered in their belief system.
So what happens to Bidwanda? Does the curse, strike him with lightning or something?
Even more dramatic than that, get this, he starts transforming.
Transforming? Like, into what?
Into a creature, something strange and never seen before.
Yeah. This is getting good.
It resembles a dolphin, but it can live in fresh water.
Okay, so not a regular dolphin.
Nope, something totally unique.
Wow.
Driven by this curse and his own shame, Bidwanda leaps into the Mahakam River.
I bet I know what's coming next.
He becomes the very first Pesut Mahakam, forever tied to the river and his past actions.
That's a powerful image and a pretty stark consequence for his disrespect.
It is, right. So, thinking about it all, what do you see as the main messages woven into this legend?
I mean, first and foremost, it screams respect your parents.
Definitely.
Right. Bidwanda's treatment of his mother literally led to his downfall.
Absolutely. It underscores how central that respect for elders is to their culture.
Yeah, and I think it goes beyond just parents. It's about respecting your roots, your heritage.
I like that, yeah. Sense of responsibility towards where you come from.
Exactly. And of course, there's a big warning about arrogance.
Oh, yeah.
Bidwanda let his wealth and status go to his head.
Classic tragic flaw.
Totally. And it ultimately led to his isolation and transformation.
A reminder that pride really can come before a fall.
Definitely. But you know, at its heart, I think this story is about the power of family.
I could see that.
And the really sad consequences when those bonds are broken.
Despite everything Bidwanda did, there's that underlying tragedy of a mother's love for her son.
Right, and the irreparable damage caused by his rejection of her.
It's a reminder that those family ties are precious, even when they're tested.
So bringing it back to the present day, the Pesut Mahakam isn't just a figure in a story anymore.
Right.
It's a real animal, a symbol of East Kalimantan and its struggle.
And that endangered status adds a whole new layer to the legend, doesn't it?
Definitely like a real-world consequence.
It makes you wonder if the disrespect Bidwanda showed towards his mother could be reflected in a larger disrespect for the natural world.
Interesting. I mean, we were seeing the consequences of neglecting our environment.
And those consequences can be pretty dramatic.
Just like Bidwanda's transformation.
Exactly. So the story takes on this added layer of environmental relevance.
It's a powerful reminder that our actions have consequences, both in our personal lives and for the world around us.
Absolutely.
So, wrapping up our deep dive into this incredible legend, we've seen how Bidwanda's arrogance and lack of respect for his mother led to his transformation into the very creature that now symbolizes his homeland.
Such a powerful image.
This story really highlights the lasting impact of our actions.
And the need to carefully consider how we treat both our family
and our environment.
Exactly.
You know, it's amazing how these ancient stories can still resonate so strongly today.
They really do.
They offer these incredible insights into human nature and remind us of these timeless values.
Values that are perhaps even more important in our modern world.
It makes you wonder how much we can learn from listening to these old tales.
And what they might teach us about ourselves and the path we're on.
Absolutely. I think that's a great place to leave it for our listeners to ponder.
Yeah, what reflections does this legend spark for you?
How does it make you think about your own values and actions?
It's something worth considering.
Definitely food for thought.
Thank you for watching this video. Hopefully useful. Don't forget to like and subscribe.